All right, what's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 7 different ways to get a great real estate deal without using a real estate agent. And these are all ways that I've personally used myself or an investor friend close to me has also used successfully. So these are all proven strategies to finding basically off-market deals that most people are not even aware are for sale. And that's how you get the best deals, when there's very little competition. So let's get into it. All right, strategy number 1 is to use wholesalers. Now, a wholesaler is someone that finds basically off-market properties and sells the rights of those contracts to rehabbers, to more experienced investors for a fee of anywhere from $5,000 to 10, 20, even 50, even 100,000, depending on the profit margin and how good of a deal it is. So the most effective way to work with wholesalers is to have a lot of them. If you're just relying on one wholesaler to send you deals, or even 2 or 3 wholesalers, you're probably not going to get any deals. Wholesalers are kind of notorious for overinflating the after renovated value and underinflating the cost of repairs. So that's why you need consider it like a team of wholesalers. Most people, most investors, they approach real estate investing and they say, oh yeah, I got Tim, the wholesaler, sending me deals, and they're just relying on him. When in reality, there might be 50 or even 100 wholesalers in any given city at any given time. And if you have all of those people sending you deals, you're going to have a significantly higher chance of finding some diamond in the rough properties. And in many markets, you only need like 1 deal per year to do extremely well. So you need to be very strategic about getting wholesalers. Now, the way to get wholesalers on your list, the way to find these 25, 50, 100, 200 people in any given city, the first way would be writing down bandit sign numbers. Anytime you see a bandit sign number, write that down. That can be person number 1 on your wholesaling team. And honestly, in any big city, you probably could see like 5 or 10 of those on a given day if you're really looking. So you can write down those numbers. Another way would be going on LinkedIn and just searching wholesaler in the search bar, and then going to real estate, and then going to your city. And it should have a minimum of like 10 wholesalers, but usually if it's a bigger city, it's going to have anywhere from 50 to 100 wholesalers on LinkedIn. And you can get their contact information and basically just add them to your list. And the third way of finding wholesalers would be going to networking events. So meetup groups, real estate meetup groups are great. You can find wholesalers there. RIA groups, Real Estate Investor Association groups, are also great. So you can find 5, 10, 20 wholesalers at those groups as well. And between those 3 strategies, you could have 100 wholesalers on your list. And if you stay in touch with them via email or text or phone call, once every couple weeks, once a month, they're going to start sending you deals. Most people do not do that, and most people only have 1 or 2 wholesalers. So if you have a whole team of 100 wholesalers sending you deals, you're going to start to see some good deals, I can guarantee you. All right, the second way, this is actually my favorite way of finding deals, and this is how I find the majority of my deals, is strategic direct mail. And the thing I love about direct mail is that it's very inexpensive. It costs, basically 50 cents to send out a postcard. So I can reach, 5,000 different households essentially for like $2,500. And if I'm marketing to 5,000 different people that have already pre-qualified themselves as motivated sellers, which a big part of direct mail, you only want to send direct mail to motivated sellers. You never want to send direct mail just to the general population. And the way you find these motivated seller lists is you can go on places like alescodata.com, melissadata.com. You can go to your courthouse and build a list. You're basically looking for like absentee owners, tax liens, pre-foreclosure, probate, different things like that, where someone might be looking to sell their house fast to an investor in the most hassle-free way possible. So if you send targeted direct mail to pre-qualified prospects, you're going to have a pretty good likelihood of finding some good deals. And one thing I want to add about direct mail is that your response rate is going to be pretty low. That's just the nature of direct mail. If you look at the history of direct mail, and I actually have read a lot of direct mail books and marketing books, direct mail has never gotten a 50% response rate. It's always been 2 or 3%, sometimes 1%, sometimes as much as 5, 10%. But generally speaking, you should expect to get about a 1% response rate with your direct mail. However, if you really look at the math behind it, it's a great ROI. So if you, let's say I send out 5,000 postcards, which I do, and you don't need to start with that amount. You can start at a small scale, learn how to get 5 leads a month, learn how to get 10 leads a month, and then scale it up from there. I remember one time I spent like $5,000 on direct mail, and I got so many leads I just wasn't able to handle the amount of leads I got, and I wasn't very strategic about it. So you want to kind of scale it up as you go. But what I was going to say, the math behind it, if you send out 5,000 postcards and you get a 1% response rate, and it takes 25 leads to get a deal, you just got yourself 2 off-market deals that are probably going to be significantly more profitable than the cost of your direct mail. So it's a very viable strategy. And I would also say this, for all the people that say, direct mail doesn't work, what they don't realize is that the top real estate investors in any market, they'll do like 20, 30, even 100,000 mailers every single month. And these might only be like, the top two or three, it might only be 2 or 3 people that are actually doing this in every market. But, it's probably a good idea to model the top investors. And you don't need to send out that many. You can start generating leads just by sending out 1,000, 2,000. But you don't want to send out like 20 letters and then say direct mail doesn't work. That's not the way it works. So try to scale it up once you get a comfort level for it. Okay, the third way of finding a great deal without a real estate agent is looking at estate sales. So in any major newspaper, they're going to have estate sales. If you look on Craigslist, they're going to have estate sales. There's also estate sale companies, and they publish different information on the estate sales they have coming up. And while those estate sales are more like selling, an old couch or a painting and things like that, you can still contact those people and say, look, I'm looking to buy the property. And I guarantee you, if you contacted like 50 estate sales, or maybe not even that many, maybe like 25, those people are going to be selling the property, a good portion of them. And they might be interested in just an easy, as is, type of offer. So that can be a very good strategy, especially if you think of these marketing strategies over the course of a year. So if you were to do this estate sales strategy, for example, over the course of 12 months, I can guarantee you would get some very motivated sellers. All right, strategy number 4, and this is a more advanced strategy. If you are a real estate investor and you're looking to scale your business up, what you can do is you can have basically open houses at your rehab projects. You can do before and after. I know a lot of investors where they'll email out to their email list, which includes real estate agents, wholesalers, rehabbers, private money lenders, different people in the real estate industry. They'll say, hey, check out my rehab project. I'm about to start on it. This is what I bought it for. This is how I find it. It's like a mini educational seminar almost locally. And you'll get so many leads coming in from that because people will want to be a part of it. There'll be private money lenders, there'll be wholesalers. Hey, how can I work with you? There'll be rehabbers that say, hey, use this contractor. Different opportunities will come about from that. And then you can do one, maybe once the property's fixed up. Maybe it's a good idea not to do it at a live construction site. So maybe once it's fixed up, say, hey, check out this investment project I did. If you want to get in on the next one, this is how you do it. And you'll get a lot of people that way. Strategy number 5 is actually cold calling. So a lot of very successful real estate investors have been using this strategy recently. And basically you just get a large list of people. You scrape the phone numbers off the do not call list. So you don't want to be calling people that are on the do not call list. And believe it or not, there's going to be tens of thousands of people that aren't on that list. And then you might qualify it by certain zip codes and maybe other demographic information. And you can look, there's cold calling scripts online. If you just look at real estate investor cold calling script, you can have a script, but then you just, go through and call different people. And if you reached out to if you spend a few hours every single day, maybe you called 100 people or 200 people a day, or maybe let's say 500 people a week. That's 2,000 people a month. You're going to get a lot of leads that way. And eventually, once you get enough leads, once you get 25, 30 leads, you should be able to get a deal. And that's a very inexpensive way. If you have some hustle and you have some drive, that's a great way to start getting off-market deals. Okay, strategy number 6. So once you kind of get into this real estate investing world, it's not a huge world. You're going to know who the big players are in any market. So what you want to do is you want to contact these people. You want to reach out to them, maybe introduce yourself, say, look, you're new to real estate, and say, look, if you have a deal where maybe you're not going to buy the property, but it's still a good deal, let me know about it. A lot of times I see competitors say, look, I'm not going to purchase this property. It's too much work, or we prefer this area. They might just pass it off to an investor friend of theirs. So if you made a list of all the real estate investors and just said, hey, look, if you get any good leads that you're not going to buy or any deals that you're not going to buy, just let me know about them. I might be interested. So that's a great way to get off-market properties from, qualified investors. Okay, strategy number 7. So once you start to build some experience in the real estate investing world, maybe you're using some of these strategies and people are getting to know you as a real estate investor. Maybe you're doing some social media and people are asking you questions about your deals and whatnot. You can start to mentor new investors in your area. And you can say, look, hey, I'll mentor you for free. Just bring me good deals and we'll split them 50-50. And for a new real estate investor who's motivated and maybe they don't want to spend, $30,000, $40,000 on coaching, but they're doing marketing to find good deals, this could be a win-win situation. So you should have 3 or 4 people that you're mentoring at any given time that are serious and focused, that can bring you leads, and then you can joint venture on. I've done many joint ventures and they've worked out very successfully. Okay, so thanks for watching this video on 7 different ways to get a great real estate deal without a realtor. And if you know any other strategies, drop them in the comments below. Or if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.